Good morning. Wait, actually I have to give it a second to load up. There we go. I think it should be live. Testing, testing, testing. Here, we'll test the mic quality in a second. Oh yeah, what up? I don't see if chat's working. Somebody send a message. You get this fun white construction thing to stand next to. Beautiful. You love to see it. Very interesting scenery. There we go. Okay, there we go. Smile, what up? Yo, what up? Yeah, we're walking past the construction place, so it'll be a second till we get to the river. Good morning, all. So, to start off with the clickbait, you just see Johnny Salami is still in prison or jail. There's been no updates, so he's definitely getting the 30-day treatment, which is hilarious. This time I actually set up everything, so it should work. I got my GPS on my other phone, so if and when I get lost, we'll be able to get back to a reasonable place. And then I actually have a battery. Nice online. Yeah. Right now we are kind of in the middle of nowhere, just walking to this waterfall that I found that hopefully I have signal to. I checked the Rakuten thing and it says I have signal, so that's what we're gonna do. Oh good, I found a ledge. I can open my sip. Going for the hiss. First sip of the day. So what are we talking about? We're talking about learning Japanese to live in Japan, right? Baba Booey. I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions regarding learning Japanese. We're getting some people. I don't want to bother them. Ohayou gozaimasu. That was a very sarcastic ohayou gozaimasu I got. I try not to film people, obviously. I don't want to be a Johnny Salami, but I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions regarding learning Japanese, how to learn Japanese, how much Japanese you need to know before you come to Japan. Yeah, the weird runes, right? So, the biggest thing is that there are a lot of people who are just tourists, right? Who are just coming to Japan because they want to go to Kyoto, they want to go to Tokyo, right? And for those people, honestly, you don't need to know any Japanese at all. Like, I guarantee it. Japan is not, excuse me, a country like China. It's not like India. It's not like any of the other Southeast Asian countries. You don't need to know any Japanese to get around Tokyo. Everyone speaks English to some extent. Everything is in English. It's not a big deal, right? So for that one, a lot of people are intimidated. Like, I wouldn't be comfortable going to Japan if I didn't know a little bit. You don't need to know any. 100%, you'll be fine. The next one is like, I'm going under a thing. I hope I don't lose signal. All right, to the river real quick. The next one is like, I want to know a casual amount of Japanese so that I can do a study abroad, or I can spend 6 months over there. What should I learn first? Do I need to learn kanji? Do I need to learn hiragana, katakana? Like, where should I start? Yeah, so if you want to move to Japan, that's a different thing, right? So for that, the basics, like the absolute basics of Japanese, you can learn from a book. There are a lot of books out there which I don't particularly like. Also, I'm already lost, so I'm gonna look at my map. There's a lot of, I always wanted to learn because everything is very cool and pretty useful if you want to learn that. That's the thing, like, it is useful if you want to work here. Like, I won't lie, 90% of my, 90% of my work does involve, okay, I'm going the right way, using Japanese, like, to a business level. But is the video reversed? It might be. I mean, it's in selfie mode, so I'm not sure. But, you know, 90% of even the jobs here don't really require Japanese. That's not to say you shouldn't learn. You definitely should if you want to come and work here. And it is a benefit. But it's definitely better to have a skill that isn't just Japanese. Right? Like don't use me as an example because I didn't have any real skills. I just did an undergraduate degree in Japanese and then did study abroad. Oh, my shirt was backwards. I don't think this one's backwards. Maybe it is. I don't know. And I was ill prepared to find a job. So you should have some other skill, right? Like, you know, coding or something like that, right? Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get by with just Japanese. Your Japanese would have to be really, 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 really good, like Dogen level good, to get by with just Japanese as your skill. So that's one thing. To start with, you know, there's a lot of books like Genki, Japanese for Busy People, and a few others, which they're fine. You know, I don't like Genki for a lot of reasons. Not least of which is that I think that it gives people bad habits, like the fundamentals. Yeah, you have to work to live, unfortunately. You can't be a NEET. Someone tell Pippa you can't be a NEET in Japan. They'll kill you. Just shoot you in the streets. Electrician for a skill? That's actually an interesting one. There is a lot of demand for that sort of skill in Japan, but it's very hard to break into as a foreigner just because all of the certifications and things are in Japanese, right? And Japan loves certifications. So if you can't pass those certs, it's very difficult. So you'd probably want to do something like electrical consulting rather than just being like an electrical engineer. Oh, here we go. Let me just cross the street here real quick. I think we want to be on this side of the river. Yeah. You should be in E and learn from your Japanese girlfriend. Don't do that. I know a guy who that happened to. Okay, so that's a funny story. A guy I went to college with, right? He had a Japanese girlfriend. And because Japanese is very like gender coded in the way that you talk, like the way that I speak in Japanese is very masculine. It's like almost exaggeratedly masculine because I picked the kind of gym bro dialect. Cars passing by. Nice spot. Right? So, yeah, he ended up sounding very gay, which is fine if you want to sound gay, but he wasn't gay. So he sounded very gay. And you don't want to sound gay. Because there are sentence enders in Japanese that are very feminine that you've probably heard in anime. And so if your girlfriend is girly and she uses girly sentence enders and you start using them because you're learning, you're going to sound very effeminate very quickly. Right? That's very nice. Yeah, so we're walking down the side of the river here. And so don't do that. I would say one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they try to learn casual language first without learning um, the desmas form. Like, you probably hear it when people say like "Ohayo gozaimasu" or "ikimasu," as opposed to like "iku" or "iku no da" or something like that. Because the casual language is what everyone learns or what everyone uses in normal conversation, but the desmas form is the polite Japanese that everything is built off of. If your girlfriend speaks with masculine sentence enders, that's based as hell, and she probably doesn't exist. So, you know, tomboy girlfriend wins again. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck finding that. Good luck. So I think you should start with learning polite language before you try to learn like casual conversation, right? A really good book for that is called Japanese, the Spoken Language by Mari Noda, who was actually my professor at OSU. She wrote the book. I wouldn't say it's dense, but it is esoteric. Oh, that's a big spider. Anybody got arachnophobia? My apologies. Ohayou gozaimasu. One thing I will say is like, people are very friendly. You know, in the morning, everybody greets you like as you're walking by. It's very nice. Oh, this is cool. It's just about rice harvest time. Kind of a nice rural area. So you never have to worry about Japanese people being like, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Yeah, you don't have to worry about Japanese people like looking down on you for trying to learn Japanese. That just doesn't really happen. What does happen is the classic dogen of, Nihongo jouzu, where they'll just say, "Oh, your Japanese is really good," when it's actually dog shit. They won't tell you. Yeah, that's the ISBN. You'd be surprised, but I actually recognize it. So, that book by Mari Noda, who, by the way, is the most terrifying professor I've ever had. She's like, I think she's like 4'8" or something. She's a small Japanese woman, but she would walk into class, the very few classes that I had with her, very few, because she was the head of the Japanese department at OSU. I think she still is. I don't know if she's retired. But yeah, don't mention the price tag. She's my professor, so I kind of have to be like, you should buy it. But at the same time, I'm sure there's copies of it floating around that a friend could lend to you. You know? You could borrow it from a friend. She was terrifying. Because she wouldn't tolerate any mistakes if she thought that you actually knew the answer correctly. Never. Not a single one. She would make you repeat the same sentence over and over and over and over until you got it right. Like, she was very nice, but in a very commanding way. It's like the guy from Whiplash if he didn't throw chairs, right? If he was just aggressively nice. Yeah, the written language one, to be honest, I don't think is very good. It's just not necessary in the same way. I think there's a book called the Kodansha, Kodansha, Kodansha Learner's Guide, which is very, very good for kanji. Wow, this is just like an totally abandoned spot. Which is very good for kanji. But I'm not one of those people who say, oh, you can just skip learning kanji. You can't skip it. You definitely can't. You definitely need to learn kanji, hiragana, and katakana. But you can do that as you go. You don't need to try and memorize all of the kanji before you start learning or anything like that. And in fact, you should be learning the kanji as they relate to vocabulary, not as they are just singular pieces of the alphabet. Because you'll make it a million times harder on yourself if you do it that way. Yeah, context is what matters. Ohayou gozaimasu. So there are a lot of people like, I can't remember the name of it because it's terrible. It's like something remember the kanji. That might even be the name, where it's like they just try and get you to memorize the shapes, like all of them. Don't do that. That one's really bad. It's terrible. Like, it doesn't actually teach you how to pronounce any of them. It doesn't teach you the onyomi, kunyomi. It's just trying to get you to memorize the kanji with like English vocabulary, which you don't want to do. You definitely don't want to do that. So, hiragana and katakana are just the alphabet. Like, I'll be straight up with you guys. You should be able to memorize all of the hiragana and all of the katakana in like a week or two. And if you're not doing that, or if you're having trouble doing that, you're probably like doing something wrong. Not like you're dumb, you're just probably memorizing it in a weird way. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I've been trying to grow the live stream. Yeah. So this time we're talking about something a little more positive than Johnny Salami. Also, I gotta check the map again, because I'm lost again. I do actually want to get to the waterfall. Let's see where we are. Oh, okay. We are good. Oh no, maybe we're not good. I think I have to go to the right a little bit. My GPS is like jumping in between. Oh, this might be a dead end here. Okay. I think I just have to go this way a little. So, like, when I took Japanese in college, because for anybody who doesn't know, my undergraduate degree was in Japanese. And then I did a year study abroad at Waseda University. And then, oh, that's the train horn. Train tells me where I am in relation to everything else. So now I can actually double check. That's the train tracks. That doesn't actually tell me shit. Okay, I see where we are. Yeah. So, no, that was my brother. That was my younger brother who had the Gaijin Goomba looking guy. My class was very normal. I don't really remember too many people being like out and out weirdos. But I did an undergraduate degree, then I did a year study abroad, then I went back to the States, then I got the MEX scholarship, then I did a graduate degree, like an MBA at Waseda. So, in terms of like Japanese scholarship, I think I'm a pretty good source. But at the same time, you know, I also had a lot of advantages in terms of just being able to immerse myself in the language, which is a huge benefit. There's a guy standing out here. I don't want to film him, so we'll just keep it pointed this way. Ohayou gozaimasu. Because now we're going through some back roads. Because that's one of the, like, the biggest thing is immersion is huge. Yeah, kanji is hard. There's so many characters. I agree to a certain extent, but also it's all about learning them in context, right? Should you or should you not wear a Naruto headband? You definitely should. Definitely wear a Naruto headband in public. Definitely run with your arms back. Everyone will think you're very cool. You should do it. 100% agree. Definitely do that. It helps if you do the hand signs at the same time. If you don't memorize the hand signs, you'll never really fit into Japanese culture. You just won't. Oh, cat. There's a kitty. Where's the cat? I saw a cat. Where'd he go? Oh. You didn't think I'd actually do it? Dude, it's like 6 a.m. I'll do anything. Except bother people. There's nobody around. That's the only thing I won't do. Your boy won't bother people. Oh, I'm just putting my can away. There's no trash cans anywhere, so I kind of have to just toss it in the back of my bag. There we go. Any vending machines? Surprisingly not. Surprisingly not any vending machines around here. Now I have a free hand to actually check the map though. Google Maps doesn't have very good accuracy around here, for whatever reason. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Technically, I'm supposed to be over there, because it's a dead end over here. It's not a big deal. Can walk through this comfy small town and not bother people. But yeah, in terms of actually learning, like the first steps, grammar is huge. People will tell you that, reminds you from Tulip? I'm not familiar with that one. People will tell you that Japanese sentence structure is like subject, object, verb, which is technically true, but also not completely true. So it's important, like, I really can't recommend that Japanese is spoken language book enough, just because it is very, very detailed with how the grammar actually works. So once you understand how the grammar works, it becomes a lot easier to slot in new information. Where people go wrong, in my opinion, is they learn a lot of daily phrases without understanding the mechanics of how they work, right? So you learn how to say, I will go to the bank, or I will go to the store, without understanding why that sentence construction works the way it does, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's the thing. People do that whole place Japan meme, but I mean, come on. It's beautiful out here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, you can go to small towns and stuff in America. That's fine, and they're nice. There's tons of beautiful places in America, but Japan has a very organic feel to it, right? Because there's very few zoning laws and everything is old, like really old. So it's all grown up over years and years and years and decades and decades. So it's all organically grown into place. It's extremely scenic. I mean, there's places you can go that are awful. I mean, I didn't pick living here for no reason. Like this part of Japan, that is. Like, I also picked this part because it's very nice. But, you know, if you go out into like the middle of nowhere, Chiba or Saitama, there's tons of places that are boring as dirt. But, you know, I think Japan is a very beautiful place in general. You know, the small towns are great. Make sure we're going the right way. Okay, now we're going the right way for sure. Yeah, so we'll be on this road. It's a little busy. Any festivals? Yeah, there's festivals all the time. Unfortunately, a lot of them got canceled a few times in a row due to COVID, but they're coming back. So we might be able to go to a few on later streams, but it's getting into be fall, so there's not as many. They're mostly a summer thing. It's finally not 1,000,000 degrees out, which is nice. I was dying from the heat. It's only like, man, I can't think in Fahrenheit anymore. I think it's 27 degrees. So whatever that is, 26, 27 degrees. Yeah. Well, no, Saitama is just kind of a name. That's the thing. There's a lot of like names that people think are puns, but they're really, Saitama is just kind of like Smith. It's like John. It's like if Superman's name was Jeff, right? If Superman, instead of being, you know, the Man of Steel, Clark Kent, he was just like Jeff from accounting. That would be the joke there. Dance is important to memorize. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't do like social festivals and activities and stuff. I like walking around early in the morning when there's nobody around, so I've never done any of that. There's, yeah, the bon odori, which is definitely a thing, but you don't have to do it. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, you absolutely have to. Have I been to Yokohama? Yeah, I live pretty close to Yokohama. I'm in Odawara right now, which is basically one train ride away from Yokohama. And I was just up in Hokkaido for business because I'm a business boy. My arm getting tired from holding this out. I think I need to hold it like closer to my chest. That's better. Yeah, so I would say this area right here is kind of a boring, not too special small town area. To me, anyway. To me, this looks like bland. I wouldn't really care too much. Some of these older houses are cool, though. Yuru Camp Season 3, I'm hype. Oh no, Japanese has a ton of double meaning phrases. Like, that's a whole thing, you know, in classic Japanese poetry. Jeez, voices cracking up. They're like kake kotoba. Yeah, kake kotoba. It's a whole. There's a bunch. But in terms of like learning, so if you were going to come to Japan to live here or to try to, do study abroad, I would say that you should try to learn as much as you can in terms of the mechanics, like the grammar, try to find somebody to talk to, try to watch, not dramas, but I honestly think that like daily lifestyle anime like Lucky Star Yuru Camp, Danshi Kokosei no Nishijo, those are really good to listen to, right? So you want to develop an ear for listening to it. So if you can turn on Japanese subtitles while you listen to see where the words break out, even if you don't know what the words mean, it's very helpful to see when one word ends and the next begins. Because the amount of time, like let's say you have like a year study abroad coming up, the amount of time that you put into studying before you come to Japan is like the hyperbolic time chamber for studying. My 1 year study abroad in Japan was worth way more than the 3 years I spent studying at university beforehand. Way more. Like, it's not even close. So if you can, the more time you put in beforehand, the more of a base you'll have to work off of. But it's really a function of that. Also, chat has stopped scrolling for me, so somebody send a message. Let me see if it's stuck. I hope we're not buffering. Are we buffering? Still there? Okay, there we go. Do I collect any cards or action figures? Yeah. If you go to my Twitter, you can see I have a lot of anime stuff, like a lot. I'm buff, all right. Yo, it's the real Dosh Doshington. Is that him? The real Dosh Doshington? So I have a lot of anime stuff. Figures, posters, cards. Not really cards, but figures, posters, all sorts of stuff. Any truth from another person directly seems to be more effective. Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely. It's always easier to learn from somebody else. The issue is that, so like one thing I definitely don't recommend doing, do not get a non-native practice partner, right? Japanese laws are a bit more harsh than the US and UK, is that true? Yeah, it depends on what you mean by harsh. That's like a whole different discussion. But like I was saying, one thing I definitely don't recommend you don't do is have a non-native speaking partner. Like sometimes people are like, oh, we'll learn Japanese together and we'll practice together. Don't do that. If you're speaking with a non-native speaker, the odds that you will both pick up bad habits goes up by a ton, right? Because neither of you are, like, I would never try to teach somebody how to speak correctly. I could to a certain extent, but I would never try to be like an authority on it. Favorite foods in Japan? It's hard to say. I like sukiyaki a lot. I like sushi, especially fatty tuna. But it really depends on the season. Like whatever's available. Yakiniku is the best. Reigns supreme. It's not like a downer. It just means that you can avoid pitfalls. Like, you should just be trying to avoid stuff that's going to make your life harder. Get a Japanese girlfriend to learn Japanese. We went over that. No, you will end up sounding very effeminate unless you're careful about it. How's the fish quality? It depends. In general, it's very good, but you know, it's not like you can't find bad stuff. Like, that's one misconception, like Japanese food is all really healthy. It's not. They have a million fried things, tons of sugar, you know. There's no shortage of junk food. This is kind of cool. I don't know what this is, but concrete construction buildings. Okonomiyaki is pretty good, but it is just fried bread covered in mayonnaise, so, you know, it's not exactly healthy. Do you remember that? When I didn't remember? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we're still going the right way. Well, it's kind of like a small factory of some kind. I'm not sure what they're making. Oh, it's a concrete factory. Okay. His girlfriend with a brother, or just get a Japanese boyfriend, right? Well, then you still probably sound effeminate. Okay, so you have to just be a bottom to a Japanese boyfriend who's a top. Then you'll learn masculine Japanese. Right? That's how you do it. Problem solved. So healthy. Yeah, Japanese. Well, that's the funny thing is I actually learned a lot of Japanese from gym bros in college. Like, I joined the barbell club at Waseda, and so that's how I learned to speak Japanese with a more, like, really, that's my really casual Japanese. I learned polite Japanese from doing a internship, and then really casual Japanese from the gym bros. Boy, I sure hope this isn't private property. I don't think it is, but there's definitely nobody else around here. Nah, dude, it's not, you're not gay, it's just language exchange. Trust me, bro. I'm somewhat buff. I need to hit the gym a little harder. The waterfall is supposed to be up the road because we're kind of going down in a valley here, which is kind of cool. If it was a little later, the fall colors would be amazing, but haven't quite started to change yet. 2 weeks. How much do I bicep curl? I don't know, 15, 20-ish? Something like that. Kilograms. I don't think I can get away with like a ton of reps at 20, but 15-ish, it's okay. Swole Quest, yeah, just yell at Tad. It's his fault. For anybody, let me tell you about Tad. I just need to catfish more popular people onto the stream so that I can social ladder climb and get popular. Oh, you're in New York? How's the rain? I hear like the flash floods are crazy. Well, this isn't quite walking distance. I took a train, so I walked to a station and then I took a train for a little bit. But I wouldn't exactly call this a site. This is kind of like, I looked on Google Maps to see if there was something interesting around, right? And this is what I found. There's a lot better places I could go to, but I didn't want to get on the motorcycle for an hour at like 5 a.m. to go somewhere, so I picked somewhere I could go by train. Sora the Troll, I don't know enough about that guy. I can't remember. Isn't he a big like drama? I don't want to get into the drama stuff. Thing, Japan. Yeah. Like, I don't want to get into the drama stuff too much. Laughing at Johnny Salami is one thing, but talking about, that's cool. Talking about YouTuber drama and stuff all the time is definitely not something I'm interested in doing. It would be cool to have somebody, like to somehow give somebody my perspective, like do a virtual tour. That would be neat. Oh, he's not a drama person? I'm probably thinking of somebody else. So I don't know. I would also like to do content where I act as an interpreter or a translator for somebody. So like if Pippa wanted to talk to somebody in Japanese, I could be the translator for that. That would be fun to me. Reaction to expat Japan YouTubers. But see, that's what I'm saying, is like, I don't really want to do too much reaction stuff. Not too much. I'm fine with a little bit, but not too much. Right? Like he said, she said, kind of whatever. That is a massive, holy. That is a big spider. Damn, I can't get over to it. I was just about to walk in. Holy shit. Wait, this one is huge. I was looking at another one, but this one is massive. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Is that focused? Tell me if that was focused. I can't tell. That thing is the size of my palm. It's like an orb weaver. Jeez. That's huge, dude. Showing up on Pippa Street. I mean, I thought that was hilarious. I don't bother her about it. I did send FaZe Connect a couple of emails about doing the interview, but they haven't gotten back to me. So, oh, there's horses. I didn't know there was horses over here. Okay, see, now look. Somebody send a clip of this to Pippa. Japanese horses. She's a horse girl. She'll freak out. I didn't even know they had horses over here. That's cool. It's like a little farm. Oh, they're not happy. That dude gave me the one stomp. If you didn't, oh, you can't see anything? Oh, let me see if I can go back. Is that not focusing? How's that? Maybe? Maybe they're too far out. I can't tell. Yeah, that guy's not happy. Horse, yeah. Horse, Japan. I grew up with, my family had horses. That guy gave me the, oh, you were at the tree earlier? Okay. That guy gave me the one stomp, and he's putting his ears back at me. Jesus, there's so many spiders out here. What the hell? Look at this. Huge one here. Another huge one here. Another huge one here. And then another one up there. And then another one right here. There's like 4 massive spiders all in a row. That's nuts. Look at the size of that guy. Dude's screaming. Spiders don't like bother me in general. Like, I don't want to touch them, but I think they're cool. I'm just gonna kind of stay away from the, oh yeah, there's spiders all down this barn. Oh, it must be because like the barn flies and stuff. Yeah, these homies are straight chilling up here. I'm surprised they're this chill being this close to each other. Like normally, spiders don't get along. Damn. Flowing behind the screen? Yeah. Oh, here's a cool shot. The train line runs right around here. Yeah, it's possible that they're siblings. But yeah, that horse was giving me the old stomp, which means, I don't know you, please go away. This is neat. Checking for spiders. Yeah. That's, well, we were supposed to be talking about learning Japanese, but now we're talking about spiders. So many spiders. We have Japanese grammar, spiders. Do a hand comparison, it's too late. Oh, train. That's a long one. That's an express. Spiders it is then. Wait, no. But he was already streaming a heap of spiders. You can tell it's a horse because of the way it is. Yeah. I actually have no idea what's up here. Other than at some point there should be a turnoff to go see where the waterfall is. And we haven't buffered at all, so the internet has been fine. It should be like up here. Yeah, I should have realized all the Mom Musa fans in here would have been like, spiders? Spiders, you say? What manga does to a motherfucker. Just a heads up, starting to stutter. Can anybody else confirm if it's bad? If there's any buffering? It's in gaps though? Okay. Just so everybody knows, my phone is recording, so the full stream will also be available and uploaded to YouTube after this. The Johnny Salami one did pop off, actually. So thank you for that. A little bit ago. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Sounds like a skill issue, Null. Sorry, bro. Send him to the principal's office and have his dick exploded. I love that meme. One guy. Dude, there's like 10 people in the stream. Every conversation is a one guy. Okay, Otto paired you with a spider girl? Yeah, I remember. Don't one guy me. You're more than one guy to me. You're all more than one guy. Let's see. Anybody? Okay, let's take some questions about learning Japanese. Don't explode your dick, it's too late. It's always been too late. Ten guide. Yeah. Anybody got questions about Japanese that they would like answered? Be happy to lend my quasi-expertise. What are good common phrases to know? It really depends. Like, 失礼します is really good. That's kind of just all-purpose excuse me. That's 失礼します. There's a guy walking behind me though. There's all the morning greetings basically. Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning. Should you change your iPhone language? Yeah. That's one like. Well, let me give some more quick phrases before I answer that one. But you could probably tell from my reaction I'm a little lukewarm on it. Excuse me, sumimasen is excuse me, but it's also, the nuance is a little different. Shitsurei shimasu is like, excuse me, more contrite. Like, I'm moving past you, shitsurei shimasu. Sumimasen is trying to get somebody's attention. So, if you're asking a question or you're trying to get, or like you go up to a ticket counter and you say, sumimasen, then you're asking like, excuse me, can I have your attention? Shitsurei shimasu is like you're walking through a crowd and you bump into somebody. You go, shitsurei shimashita, like, sorry. Major allergies. Okay. It depends on the food allergy, but that's one thing that Japan is very not good at. So you have to be careful. Like, you have to be really careful with that. Polite way of saying sorry, sumimasen. 失礼しました. Sumimasen. Gomen nasai is really polite for sorry. But to be honest, like, people don't expect you to know those. How do we speak casually in Japanese? Okay, so let me drop into, I'll do 2 sentences, or like 2 quick conversations, one in polite Japanese and one in casual Japanese, so you can hear the difference. It'll take me a second to drop into it because I've been speaking in English. So you can kind of hear the difference. はい、皆さんおはようございます。ジャパンデイトリッパーと申します。本日の配信は、このような景色を、紹介させていただきたいと思います。So that was just quick introduction. Good morning. My name is Japan Day Tripper. Today I'd like to introduce this scenery to you. So that was very polite. That was like my business Japanese. So if I was going to do that casually, it would be like, おはようございます。ジャパンデイトリッパーです。今日の配信はこのような景色を紹介しようと思います。That's casual. So it's kind of like there's a little more hop to it. Accent is really important. Definitely Dogen's grammar stuff is really, really important. Like, his stuff is great. His inflection or his pitch accent stuff is hugely important. Hugely important. Vending machines. Quick vending machine rating break. Let's see. Lemon, good. Pop, Pepsi, that's gonna be a no from me. Hachimitsu, honey and lemon, I do like it, but it's it's not the classic bottle. It's not good. Off-brand cola, Monster, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. These drinks look so good. Dude, I'm colored. I thought they looked kind of mid. I hope I didn't walk. Oh, I walked way past the turnoff. Way past it. Okay. Apparently I was just supposed to like wander up into the spider-infested woods back there. Let's do that. That's probably, hold on, I gotta scroll back chat for a second. Bro, so cool, whatever you call it. Yeah, accent. Vending machine pog. Yeah, so the biggest difference, one of the biggest things between English and Japanese is that in English, when you're being polite, it's almost always like how you're talking to somebody, like your inflection, the way that you phrase a sentence can kind of change, like, good morning, Mr. So-and-so, how are you today? But the words that you say don't really change that much, right? In Japanese, polite words are completely different from impolite words. Like, ikimasu means to go, right? That's just, I'm going to go, ikimasu. But that's the polite version. The impolite version, or the casual version, is just iku. So it sounds completely different, right? So that's a big one, which is why it's always better, I think, to learn the impolite or the polite versions first, because you can always get to the impolite version if you know the polite version. If you just know the impolite versions, you'll have a lot harder time trying to be polite later. Spiderwoods, Spiderwoods, Spiderwoods. Yeah. Watch, it's going to be. I bet there really isn't a turnoff anywhere. I bet it's just like some nonsense. Like I said, I just looked up this place randomly on Google Maps, so I had no idea, none, if it's like a thing or not. There's just like a turnoff, supposedly, somewhere around here. Like, it should be somewhere here. This looks like, doesn't this look like the fence from Jurassic Park? Like, am I wrong? It looks like a Jurassic Park fence. I swear it does. It is kind of neat that there's just this random old factory out here. Looks like it's still running too. It's like a shipping company, it says. Raptors, 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 spiders, spiders, spiders. That would keep keep in a T-Rex for real, for real? I don't think so. Let's see if it's electrified. Nobody fell for that. Bad bit. 2 out of 10. Not a good bit. Had to be done. Oh, internet is unstable. The spirits got him. Wait, that would be perfectly timed though. Hold on. Let me cross the street. I have better internet over here. It's not just you. Are we back? Maybe we're back. I should have internet here. I should. I checked the damn map. Rakuten, why you lying? Are we back? We're back. Giant genetically engineered spiders. Buffering OP. I'm back. Oh no, internet. Yeah. I checked the Rakuten map. They're lying. Dun, dun, da, da, da. Dun, dun, da, da, da. We're back. Yeah, we're back. We are so back. See, somebody needs to send that horse clip to Pippa so that we can do the I'm Just Ken karaoke. Like I said I would. I promised. Okay, so theoretically this is where the turnoff should be. I think it's that fenced thing. So we'll see. It's definitely some spider woods. Almost thought the spiders got me. Nah. That's just what the spiders would want you to think. Another train going by. Yeah, this is definitely it. It's definitely fenced off, but it doesn't actually say don't enter. Let's see. Is this it? This couldn't be it. There's no way this is it. This isn't a path at all. What is this? Hold on. Is this it? This is definitely it. Bro, what, where the heck is my Uber driver taking me? Hold on. It says there should be like a path, maybe even a little further up this way that I missed, but there is definitely no path here. There's definitely no path here. Like, not at all. Like, no shot. No shot. Yeah, I'm right on top of it. Well, let me look at the Google Maps, like, pictures. Horses, there's pictures of horses. There's a gate. Let's see what people say, like, a truly hidden waterfall. There's an entrance leading to the waterfall on the right side of the hotel entrance. Huh. So it's like back. Okay, so this isn't the entrance. There's another entrance back. Okay. Well, now that I know, we gotta go. We gotta explore it. No street lights. So this is definitely not the entrance. Something that fucks with me is how Japanese isn't noun, adjective, verb, or whatever. It's like adjective, verb, noun. It's actually noun. It's actually noun, adjective, verb. It's subject, object. Okay, it's not noun, adjective, verb. It's subject, object, verb. Like, watashi wa Nihon ni ikimasu. I. Oh, look. Another spider. Will. And it's like, I going to, or I, Japan, will go, essentially. Or I, Japan, going to, essentially. Been to any bars? I mean, ordering drinks in Japan is very easy. It's like, kudasai is like, please give me. So you just say, biru kudasai. Or whatever you, like, namakora kudasai. You know? So the thing that people get really messed up with on Japanese grammar is it is wholly dependent on the particles. So when you start getting technical, like all of the Japanese grammar elements can be kind of shifted around wherever you want them. As long as you get the particles right, it's fine. This is somebody's house. So they said it was near the hotel. A hidden road near the hotel. This is somebody's house. So we'll go walk by the hotel. Here we go again with the buffering. No! Manshitsu! Manshitsu! Hold on. We're not staying at the hotel, so we're just walking past. It's okay. No, I meant particles. So they're called particles in Japanese. So there's the subject marker, wa. So watashi wa is the subject marker. So you might say like neko wa. That marks it as a subject, right? So, and then there's like a particle that you use for moving places. I have to be careful here. It says that they're full, but I can't tell if this is private property yet or not. Wait, this is the hidden gate that they're talking about. What the? Okay. Okay. Dude, I feel like people just walked up into somebody's fucking backyard. There's no way. There's no way. Koi, that's cool. All right, let's see what this says. Okay, so they're not allowing people in right now, it says. Okay. Yeah, this is now private property. That's the gate. It says you can't go in. Cool. Pranked. No, I won't. I will not be a "what are you doing here? Get out of here" streamer. Sorry. Like, that's the one thing I'm not gonna do. Like, I can't clown on Johnny Somali for doing that kind of thing and then do it myself. So, yeah. No waterfall. But that was a really cool looking hotel. It might be possible to stay there or something. If it was a little later in the day, I would knock and ask about it, but it's a little too early for that. We'll just walk back a little bit. Yeah. So, like I was saying with the particles, one of the common misconceptions, and don't get tripped up by this because it is better to just learn subject, object, verb to start with, but it's a misnomer to say that that's the only way to do it, right? So, ni is typically used for like direction. So like, Nihon ni ikimasu means to Japan, right? Nihon ni. And you need that particle, the ni, to let the person that you're talking to know that you're talking about a direction. And the spiders are everywhere. Gates lock. Frank, John, that is some good buffering. Johnny Salami. It is cool that there's a horse barn here. Oh wait, this is a bus stop? Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of the road so I don't get run over. Let's take a look up here. Checking to make sure I don't run into any spiders that I can't see. Holy, there's an absolutely massive one out there. These are like spider woods on crack. This is nuts. I've never seen this many spiders in my life. They're everywhere. That's nuts. I'm like, they gotta stay away from the sides of the road because of all the spiders. Oh. Yeah, dude, be careful. People go so far away from you when they're like going around. Jakey, what am I gonna do if Jakey Baloney comes to beef with me? Dude, I'm not scared of that guy. He's a little baby. He's a little baby man. Have you seen him? He looks like he weighs like 95 pounds soaking wet. Like, nah, dude. I would literally just laugh in his face. Like, I'm not gonna start shit with him, but like, come on. Dude is he's a child. He's a little petulant baby who thinks that the height of comedy is saying no words very loudly to make other people uncomfortable. Like, fuck that guy. He's like, oh, you couldn't get to Japan? Like, dude, I've been living here for 8 years. Get bodied. I'm lost, spider hell, send help. Not clickbait. Yeah. That's how it goes, right? Well, unfortunately, we couldn't get to the waterfall, but We can just walk back and see if there's some other stuff. Saying shit like, oh, try to misinform people about me. I don't care. I literally don't care. Like, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. He could do whatever. Don't give a shit. The only way that that kind of stuff affects you is if you, I mean, you know, obviously having misinformation spread about you sucks, but to a certain extent, you have to feed into it, right? You have to let it bother you. And it just, I just don't care. Like, just, just turn off the computer, bro. It's not real. Let's see. Like, I'm trying to think. That's a big truck. Like, the most, I'm gonna get onto the other side of the road. Nope. Not gonna get onto the other side of the road. Thought about walking on the opposite side just because there's more room. In fact, I'm gonna do that now. But dude, I would actually do influencer boxing if I ever was actually, had the chance. That would be fun. I would do that, 100%. Put me in a ring up again. Wait, I don't know how tall that guy is. I was gonna say abroad in Japan, I'd fight him, but I don't know how tall he is. Somebody tell me how tall abroad in Japan is. If he's like 5'7" to 5'10", I would do it. If he's taller than that, I'm screwed no matter what. People underestimate how important reach is. Also, the factory has now started up. Fight Somali? Nah, dude. I don't want to turn that into like a, hey bro, you want to go? I'll show you. Like, I don't care. For me, that dude doesn't even rank on like, it doesn't rank at all. I don't think about him. It's kind of neat. Real Japanese factory. Real Japanese trucks. Looks like they're like grinding up old rocks and stuff for concrete. I was in Monster Musume, bitch. Yeah, like that kind of thing just does not rank for me. What was I saying? I was gonna say like the probably the most important thing for learning Japanese is just being consistent about it. Like, everybody says that, but just be consistent as meme advice, but it does hold true for sure. Like, as long as you're putting in consistent effort, you will see progress, but you definitely need immersion as well. When people say like, oh, don't listen to anime or whatever, I would say that's generally bad advice. Like, when kids are learning English growing up, it's not like them watching cartoons or watching movies or playing video games irreparably harms their English language ability. It's not like kids only learn to talk when they get to grade school. It's exposure to the language in its natural form, which includes things like, books, games, movies, anime, TV shows, all of that. So all of those things have their value. Like, for example, Lucky Star. is really, really, really good. Hear enough that you'll learn words. Like, Lucky Star, I would say, is really, really, really good for casual, normal conversation. You have to take it with a grain of salt because obviously they're girls talking for the most part, but it is basically just how Japanese is spoken normally. You got all your English from cartoons and you turn out fine? Yeah, we can all understand you most of the time. Everybody gaslight him. Gaslight Swizzly Bubbles, pretend you don't understand his English. May not be much. Yeah, so like, there's definitely a level of recognition that comes from just hearing enough Japanese. You know, where to the point where you can actually recognize words. You might not understand what they mean yet, but you definitely recognize them. It's when people go hyper, like, I am just going to do an Anki deck of vocab and flashcards and just do that 3 hours a day, and then they wonder why, they can't speak or it doesn't stick. Patch. Right? Because you need to be using the language in context. Like, I'm not a big fan of flashcards in general. I would only make flashcards as I'm going along studying other things. So if I hear somebody say a word that I don't know, and then I add that to a flashcard deck, that would be fine. But if you're just downloading like a 10,000 word vocabulary flashcard deck and grinding out reps on that, you're not going to know how to use them in context, which is the big thing. Can you learn Japanese by playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Probably not, unfortunately. A lot of games like that use a lot of esoteric Japanese. Like Final Fantasy is terrible for learning Japanese. I can barely even read Final Fantasy in Japanese. It's esoteric. Pokemon is pretty good for learning Japanese. Yokai Watch, something like that. Those are okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably not. Well, it depends on what you mean by the inflections of anime, because that's a thing, and something that really bothers me. So like dub voice actors for anime will do faux Japanese inflection when they're talking. Like, I can't believe you actually came. You'll never get out of this one alive. That kind of thing, where they're kind of miming the intonation of Japanese, but in English, so it doesn't work. So people assume that that's weird, and that's how Japanese sounds. But Japanese has its own inflection, right? Japanese sounds like Japanese, and if you try to, you should sound like a normal Japanese speaker. Like, if you're watching just shonen like battle stuff, yeah, don't do that. But if you're watching like, I don't know, regular people talking, like seinen stuff, like that's fine. Do you suggest buying and reading Japanese books, like the ones that have words up and down, not manga? It depends. Like it totally depends. One thing that I do, like, it depends on how difficult they are. Reading can be quite difficult. So once you're at a certain level where you can actually understand enough Japanese to the point where you're not struggling to, like, sentence by sentence figure out what they're saying, but you're still having trouble with, paragraph construction or longer sentence construction, right? Then you can start reading books. So one of the things that I do that I think helps a lot for intermediate learners is find an audiobook version of a book you like. And then listen to the audiobook version, in Japanese of course, and then read along with the print version. Crayon Shin-chan reasonable? No, dude. No. So like with Hyoka, which is like a really, I really like Hyoka. KyoAni did the anime for it. But it's also a series of novels. Jeez. So I bought the Hyoka novels, but also the audiobooks. And then I listen along to the audiobook while reading the novel so that I can hear all of the pronunciation. It was very good for learning. So like Spice and Wolf recently released a couple of audiobooks for the first couple of novels, so I'm doing that as well. Bakemonogatari, yeah. Real, like, Japanese people don't even know what's going on in those half the time. Isn't Japanese, has natural Japanese tone to learn Japanese? I'm not sure I parsed that. What do you mean? He's a natural Japanese tone? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you elaborate? Also, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of dubs. Scratch that. I don't like dubs for a lot of reasons. Like, they're not to the same quality, not even close, of the voice actors in Japan. I would say it is offensive to the Japanese voice actors to compare dub actors to Japanese voice actors. And that has nothing to do with the individual dub actors. It just has to do with the fact that the market for voice acting in Japan is so much more developed and so much more competitive that, like, I forget her name, but Megumin's voice actor. I'm gonna forget her name. Can't remember it. But, she started doing voice acting in high school, in a high school club, then went to a specific voice acting college, and then grinded years to get a break, right? Like, there's colleges, there's training programs, not everybody makes it. You have to be like the top of your craft to get a voice acting role for anime. In the States, there's like a union and a clique of guys who do it. And it's low paid, it's not prestigious at all. It's not, like look at the difference between, what's this? I'm terrible at remembering people's names even when I know they're famous actors. The guy from Whiplash. The guy, Aperture Science, Jonah Jameson, Spider-Man. I'm gonna forget his name. Rei Takahashi, yeah. So I didn't meet her, but I was at an event where she was at for the Tomo-chan anime. And like, the voice acting that they do in person is insane. It's like absolutely insane. J.K. Simmons, yeah. Thank you. So like, compare J.K. Simmons' voice work to anybody else, to like the vast majority of people doing voice work for American cartoons. It's a joke how much better he is, right? Is it not J.K. Simmons? Isn't it? You're gaslighting me. Right? Yeah. It's not Willem Dafoe. Shut up, Patch. No, I think you're right. Let me double check. The J.K. Simmons wasn't Megumin. He could be. You don't know. Unironically, J.K. Simmons would make a better Megumin for the dub than whoever they got. Or like Mark Hamill, he's a... it's J.K. Simmons. You're not wrong. Like, J.K. Simmons, Mark Hamill, classically trained actors who actually do voice work blow the fuck out of everybody else when they show up in like a cartoon or anything, because they're actually like real professional actors. Dub actors, you know, whatever. They're not the same. They're not at the same caliber. They're just not. Can you go shopping in Japan without knowing? Oh, you don't need to know any Japanese to go shopping in Japan. None at all. Not an issue. Like, everybody's super nice. You just walk into the store, grab what you want, go to the counter. They will show you the price. You give them the money. I mean, if you're looking for something, you might need to know just how to ask, but you can always just look it up on your phone too. It's not a big deal. Ooh. I would say the only time you really need to know Japanese, like to get along or to get through, is anything in a professional context, anything where you, oh, that's cool, hold on. There's a rare vending machine over there. Gotta go to the rare vending machine. Anything that, like going to the town hall or whatever to do paperwork, you're gonna need to know Japanese. Or like trying to get a cell phone or something like that, you're going to need some Japanese, right? You don't actually have to hand the money over with both hands. That's kind of a meme. All right, check it out. We got a line of vending machines. Oh no, revenge. It's the JSDF drink. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. We're not doing it again. Jaywalker? You didn't see shit. If you want there to be another stream, you won't say shit. Oh, that's the other thing. Everyone jaywalks here. Everyone. Okay, so let's review these. Instantaneous one. That the JSDF drink, instant one. No saving it. Okay, let's see. Mitsui cider's pretty good. We got hot cocoa, Hachimitsu lemon. Love it. Now this, that is Satsumaimo milk. So that's like sweet potato milk drink. That's weird. I respect it. This one, 7. 7 to 8. 8 out of 10. Let's see. Real Gold, it's kind of garbage. This is basic. I do like that it's Can's Shop. Can's Shop is a good name. Shifto Jihanki. I don't know what that means. Oh wait, so it's not always on. Wait, it's like an eco vending machine that isn't always on. That's messed up. 3 out of 10. But look at this. Okay. These are rare. You barely ever see these anymore. This is an alcohol vending machine, like beer. And then there's a tobacco one right here as well. But they want you, so it says you need a menkyosho. So you need your ID, and you're supposed to put your ID into the machine, right? And then select the beer or the alcohol that you want. Like, they legit want you to put your driver's license into the machine to get a drink, which is crazy. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna put my driver's license. Wait. You can get a drink pass, like an alcohol pass. I've never seen anyone use this. Yeah, like they would want you to put your actual ID into the card, or into the machine, which is crazy. This one too. Wait, does this one even care? It just says you can't buy cigarettes if you're under 20. I don't think there's any. No, there's no mechanism to stop you. It just says don't. It just says you can't buy it if you're under 20. That's hilarious. Alcohol vending machine, definitely a 10 out of 10, just because it's rare. I never see them. Tobacco vending machine, 9 out of 10. It's in bad shape. Points off for that. Oh, and I missed some chat, so it's crazy. What if it gets stuck in there, right? Do it, coward? No. That's nuts. I'm not gonna, dude. They tell you, what did they tell you in health class about sticking your card in unknown slots? You don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to do that. You don't know where that slot's been. Let's see, which way is the train coming from? Oh, it's gonna come from this side. That's cool. Yeah, check it out. Neat. Ding, 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 ding. Rail crossing, rail crossing, rail crossing. Ding, 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 ding. That one's not even that fast. It's just a regular train. Train review. I don't care about trains, man. Who cares? 5 out of 10. It's a train. Dude, it must be spider season or something. I keep seeing spiders everywhere. This is neat. There's another train coming. It must be from the other side. Oh, we'll watch it. It'll be kind of neat. There's the river running. I mean, they really bring that barrier down early. Looks like it's gonna rain. See the Japanese Spider-Man? Oh yeah, dude, I know Japanese Spider-Man. I'm gonna turn my brightness up a little bit. I can't see chat now that it's not 5 in the morning. No. I've never seen one of those alcohol vending machines before. Like, that's the first time I've ever seen one. They're extremely rare. Lots and lots of trains. Clickety-clack down the track. Spider-Man! They call him the emissary of hell. I can't remember how to say that though. It's like Jigoku no Nantoka sha, something like that. Well, I think we'll walk back to the station and then call it, but unfortunately we couldn't get to the waterfall. Oh wait, what is that? Does that lead anywhere? Yeah. I probably don't have signal over there, so never mind. Any last Japanese learning requests as we walk back to the station? Question, yes. What's the most interesting Japanese food I've had? Most interesting? Interesting how? Like flavor-wise, experience-wise? I'm trying to think. You know, Japanese food in and of itself is not very weird. A lot of food's delivered to the house, so you see them go to grocery. definitely grocery stores. Like, people shop pretty much almost daily to get fresh stuff. Some people use delivery services like out in the sticks. This is technically out in the sticks. Like, this is not a big city. This is a small town. Experience-wise, definitely, like, experience-wise was definitely when I went to Tsukibayashi Jiro. Not the one in Ginza, but the one that his son runs. It's still a 2-star Michelin restaurant. I went with my dad. Shisha. Jikoku kara no shisha. Ever say in Japan are statements that will quickly get your ass kicked? Hilarious bait attempt. But there's really nothing that you can say that will get your ass kicked. Like, you saw Johnny Salami. Like, he tried to get people to, like, beat him up, and it took him months to get clocked. Japanese people are very nice. Like, there's nothing that you can say that is going to get you beat. A habit that I had to see, what's speaking habit from the States? Being really quiet when the other person is talking. That's an interesting one. In Japanese, when the other person is talking, you are expected to kind of give little, like, I see, kind of statements as the other person is talking, to, like, let them know that you're still paying attention. Whereas in English, it's considered kind of rude to, like, make noises while somebody's talking, right? So that's a habit that you have to kind of form, which is not to just sit there silently, right? And not to just, like, stare at the person as they're talking. You'll make people uncomfortable if you are just quiet the whole time. Like, if you've noticed, like, a lot of Japanese VTubers, they're always making noises when the other person is talking. You know, the so ka, so desu ka, that kind of thing. Like, you have to kind of engage with the other person as they're talking, which is somewhat unnatural for English speakers. Yeah, it wasn't bait. Like, in all honesty, you would have to go out of your way to try to piss people off to do something like that. Like, I'm not sure what you would say accidentally that could piss people off. I really don't know. There's nothing that I can think of off the top of my head that somebody could say on accident that would piss people off. The only thing would be, like, if you tried to learn a bunch of really casual Japanese and, like, used that all the time. Then maybe you could come off as a little rude, but people are going to know you're a tourist, or, you know, they're not going to expect the same level of awareness from you as a foreigner as they do from Japanese speakers. Like, unabashedly, right? I use that to my advantage all the time. You're simply not held to the same conversational standards that native Japanese speakers are. So, like, a lot of my job is doing negotiations and selling stuff. So, for sure, I'll be like, you know, I use that to my advantage to be a little more casual and a little more close because I can get away with it. Have you ever been to a cyber cafe? I've never needed to go to a cyber cafe in Japan because I've always had internet. Oh, that was my brother, who I helped call him, like, a worthless piece of shit. I mean, I have yelled at people in Japanese for sure, but it's very, few and far between that I've had to do that. It's never been like a huge deal. What did Patch say? Talking politics? Yeah. I mean, to be frank, like, you're not gonna, until you get really good at Japanese, you're not really gonna be able to talk about politics anyway. So you don't have to worry about it. Nobody's going to expect you to talk about politics. Like, they're not gonna ask you what you think about the election or whatever. This is not a thing. Anything else? Better question, what's something in English that's frowned upon? Um, Something in English that's frowned upon in Japan. Uh, I mean, kind of just being loud and obnoxious in general. Like if you're really loud or, not paying attention to other people, what they're doing. There's this phrase called meiwaku, which people use to describe Johnny Salami, a meiwaku haishin, meiwaku streamer, which is, meiwaku just means like causing problems for other people, right? So that can be inconveniencing them, it could be being rude, it's just kind of like you're bothering people. It's not being American, like Japan loves America. They love it. Make hamburger country nice, 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 nice. They love America. Japan is like Eastern United States, but more polite. Just the United States in Asia, but polite. Having your phone on speaker? Yeah, that's a big one. Don't ever do that. Do not ever have your phone on speaker, for sure. Merca, yeah. Well, it's not, I wouldn't lump like, the Merca crowd in there. I've seen more rude or more obnoxious people who are like trying to be aggressively polite, like the more East Coast kind of crowd has been worse than like the Southern hospitality people in my experience anyway. Yeah. Just don't be a nuisance, basically. Definitely, don't talk on the train. That's a big one. A lot of times you'll see groups of foreigners or people standing in the middle of like the subway train talking. Just like, don't do that. It's not a thing here. It's not like, so there's no law against it, but people will definitely be thinking you're kind of a dick if you're talking on the train. I can't really think of anything else. Definitely those books that I mentioned, the Kodansha Learner's Guide, Japanese as Spoken Language. Those are really good. Ohayou gozaimasu. Yeah, I saw that guy. I mean, he knew what he was doing. Like, let's be real. He was just trying to get clicks. Like, that's all that was. Of course he did. Like, it's just clickbait. Like, he knew what he was doing. He knew he's not going to get in trouble for it, probably. So, like, don't take advantage of Japanese hospitality, basically. Like, you're ultimately a guest in the country. Don't be a dick about it, and you'll be fine. As long as you're making an effort to, like, not be a jackass, people will respect that. So, like, when people walk by, I say good morning. I avoid filming people directly. Even just doing morning streams to try to avoid like a ton of foot traffic. I don't film in people's houses or like looking around private property. That's one, like, when you're taking pictures of Japan, right? Don't wave dashing down the sidewalk, as long as you have the right sticks for it. If you can get away with wave dashing, you should do it. When you're taking pictures or filming in Japan, it's totally fine for people to be in your camera. Like, it's not illegal or even weird for people to show up in my stream. If I focused on somebody, so like I started filming a person without their explicit consent, that's illegal. You can't do that. How are the hot springs? Dude, hot springs are amazing. Go to them. Don't be a prude, like, and be weird about being naked in the hot springs. Like, it's awesome. You just realize, like, everybody else doesn't think it's weird. You're the only one who thinks it's weird. No one cares. Go for it. It's awesome. Onsen are the best. Literally. They're all over the place, too. If you get the chance to, like, go snowboarding or skiing and then go to an onsen afterwards, it is literally peak. There's actually a really nice onsen near here that I went to. Obviously, you can't film at an onsen, but I highly recommended the hot springs. Like, but what if they look? Let them look. That's just another reason to work out. Yeah, you can buy alcohol whenever you want. There's also no open carry laws. You can just walk down the street drinking. No one cares. I mean, being disorderly or drunk in public is kind of like bad, but it's not illegal. There's a lot of Japanese laws that are kind of up to interpretation, where it's like, it's not illegal, it's not illegal, but once you start causing problems for people, then they'll start to ask you to leave. That kind of thing. You know? So like everybody jaywalks, but if you start jaywalking aggressively and it starts bothering people, then they'll be upset. But until you do that, no one cares. All right, Jesus, it's almost been 2 hours. Unless anybody has any final questions, I'm gonna call the stream here as we're walking down a very dingy and not interesting at all kind of back alley area. There's just some random bars and stuff. Teach us how to read the cookie. The who? The what? Spa. You gotta elaborate. What does that mean? I don't know what read the cookie means. Can I interpret signs? I mean, yeah. Depends on the sign, but ranch or Cool Ranch? Spicy nacho. Oh, cookie. God damn it, Spa. Yeah. Cookie. Yeah. So that's okay. That's a phrase. Kuki o yameru, to like read. It means read the air, which is basically like read the room, jackass. Like it's a kind of idea where you should understand how to be appropriate without having to be told. So read the air is what it means. Again, that's something that you really won't be held to the same standard as Japanese people unless if you like join a club or something like that, then you'll be expected to kuki o yomeru. Like kuki homenai, like that KY is a thing that gets used a lot. It basically just means somebody who can't take a hint, right? How are the barbers? I don't know. They definitely cut hair. You got me. Oh, the internet. Well, Swizzly, the whole stream will go up on YouTube after this, so don't worry. The it gets saved to my phone locally, so you won't have an issue there. Wait, what are you all capsing? What? I don't understand. You lost me. Oh, good. I made it to a train station. All right. We'll end it with a final vending machine review. See any Teslas in Japan? Yeah, I see a decent number, actually. There's a couple. I tried applying to work at Tesla a few times, actually. All right, we're going to end it with a vending machine review. So we got a KFC advertisement. You could win a burger. That's kind of interesting. We've got green tea, mugisha, wheat tea. CC Lemon's pretty good. Here's the real sauce, though. Mountain Dew, but Pepsi Refresh Shot. This is actually legit. It's actually good. It's like concentrated Pepsi with extra caffeine, and then a bunch of coffee. I'm going to give this vending machine 7 out of 10, and I'm going to buy a Refresh Shot and end the stream. Thank you for tuning in. We'll do the same time next week, either Saturday or Sunday. Leave some comments on the actual YouTube video or on Twitter about the next topic. What number? 7 out of 10. What's a drink with the dude with the cigarette? That's Boss Coffee, dude. He's the boss. Boss Coffee. So leave some comments or or on Twitter what you want to see for the next stream. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you guys later. Peace out.